Hey, real talk for a second. There are two kinds of people in this world. The first kind, they are always talking about getting rich, always posting motivational quotes, always watching money videos, always starting a new side hustle, always planning, always grinding, never actually arriving. The second kind, they say almost nothing. No big announcements, no flexing, no drama. And then one day you look up and they just have the life, the savings, the freedom, the options, quietly, without noise, without a big moment. I started paying really close attention to this second kind of person, not what they say, but what they actually do every single day. And honestly, what I found changed the way I think about money completely. So today, I'm going to share it with you, not as some finance guru, not as someone who has it all figured out, just as someone who noticed a pattern and wants to give it to you straight. Stick with me until habit number 4, because that one is the one nobody ever talks about, and it might be the most important thing in this entire video. But before the habits, I need to clear something up first, because I think most of us have the completely wrong picture of what getting rich actually looks like. When people say rich, we picture the Lamborghini, the mansion, the designer clothes, the Instagram flex. But the people I'm talking about, they do not look like that at all. They drive normal cars, they wear normal clothes, they shop at the same grocery stores as everyone else. You would walk right past them and never guess. And that, right there, is one of the most important things to understand. Real wealth is almost always invisible. The loudest people about money usually have the least of it, and the people who have quietly built real financial security, they are not telling anyone. They're too busy building. So let me ask you something honest right now. Which one are you? Are you performing wealth, talking about it, posting about it, dreaming about it, or are you actually building it? Because the habits we're about to go through, they only work if you genuinely want to build, not perform. Still with me? Good. Let's go. All right, habit 1. And look, I know this sounds boring, but please do not tune out yet, because this is where most people quietly bleed money without even realizing it. People who quietly got rich, they treat every single financial decision like it actually matters, even the small ones, especially the small ones. You know that thing we all do? It's just $5, it's just a small purchase, it's not a big deal. That thinking, right there, is the habit that keeps people broke. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. You do not go broke from one big bad decision. You go broke from 1,000 small ones that you told yourself did not matter. And on the flip side, you do not get rich from one lucky break. You get rich from 1,000 small decisions where you chose your future over your present comfort. People who quietly got rich, they have one simple filter. Before spending, they ask one question. Is this taking me closer to where I want to be or further away? That's the whole habit. No app, no spreadsheet, just that one honest question every time. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what about actually enjoying life? I hear you, we'll get there. Habit 2. And I need you to really hear this one because it's the one most people get completely backwards. People who quietly got rich, they spend money on their mind before they spend money on anything else. Books, courses, skills, knowledge, experiences that make them sharper and more valuable. While most people are spending on things that lose value the second you buy them, these people are spending on the one asset that only ever appreciates themselves. And here's what really got me when I thought about this. Every skill you build increases your earning potential permanently. Nobody can take it from you. A stock can crash, a business can fail, but a skill, a real valuable skill, that stays with you for life. The person who spends $20 on a book that teaches them one thing that changes how they think has made a better investment than someone who spent $200 on something that just looks good for a week. Now, I'm not saying don't enjoy things. Enjoy your life, absolutely. But just ask yourself, when is the last time you spent money on something that actually made you more valuable as a person? If you're struggling to remember, that's your sign. Okay, Habit 3. This is the one everyone has heard of, but almost nobody actually does. Habit 3. And before you check out, I'm not about to tell you to start drop shipping or flip sneakers or whatever the latest side hustle trend is. This is something much more fundamental than that. People who quietly got rich, at some point, they stopped only trading their time for money. Think about how most of us earn. We show up, we work, we get paid, we stop working, the money stops. That's a ceiling, and most people never break through it. The people who quietly built wealth, they figured out a way to make their money or their skills generate something even when they're not actively working. Maybe it's investments compounding over time. Maybe it's a small income stream they built on the side. Maybe it's a skill that now earns them opportunities without constant effort. The exact method is different for everyone, but the mindset behind it is the same. I cannot only sell my hours are limited, but the value I create doesn't have to be. And here's the honest thing I want to say to you right now. You do not have to solve this tomorrow, but you have to start thinking about it today. Because every year you only trade time for money is a year you fall a little further behind the people who figured this out earlier. All right, habit 4. I promised you this one at the start. Here it is. Okay. Here it is, the one nobody talks about. People who quietly got rich, they guard their mental peace like it's their most valuable financial asset, because it literally is. Think about this. Every time you're stuck in drama, you're not building. Every time you're caught up in what other people think of you, you're not focused. Every time you're running on stress, anxiety, and comparison, your clearest thinking goes offline. And your clearest thinking, that's where your best financial decisions come from. That's where your ideas live. That's where real progress happens. The quietly wealthy people I've paid attention to, they can seem almost boring sometimes. They don't engage in pointless arguments. They don't doom scroll for hours. They protect their sleep. They protect their mornings. They treat their attention like it's a currency. Because they understand, a distracted mind can't build anything. And here's the thing that really shifted my perspective. Most people think peace is something you earn after you get rich. Like, once I have money, then I'll relax. Once I have financial security, then I'll stop stressing. But it works the other way around. Peace comes first, clarity follows peace, and wealth is built from clarity. You can't think your way to financial freedom while your mind is constantly on fire. So, the daily habit? Protect your mind as deliberately and seriously as you protect your bank account. That's the one. That's what nobody is selling you, because it costs nothing, and it might be the most valuable thing I have said in this entire video. All right, let me bring it home. 4 habits. 4 things that people who quietly got rich actually do that most people never will. 1. They treat every dollar like a decision because every dollar is. 2. They invest in themselves before anyone or anything else. 3. They find ways to make value work for them, not just their time. 4. And most importantly, they protect their peace like it is money because it is. None of this requires you to be born into the right family. None of this requires a lucky break or a perfect situation. It just requires consistency, quietly, without making a big announcement about it, without waiting for someone to validate you. That's how they did it. And look, I genuinely believe you can do this too. Not as a motivational thing I'm supposed to say. I actually mean it. Because if you watched this far, you're already the kind of person who is trying to think differently. And that matters more than you know. So, here's what I want you to do right now. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these 4 habits you're going to start with. Just one. Pick one. I read every comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. For real.